Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host Ethan Drew, and we're going to be doing another reaction and analysis today. Today we're going to be reacting to and breaking down Dimash's performance of Smoke. Now, this is a fresh video as of the time I'm recording this at 1:30 in the afternoon on April 27th. This is about 3 hours old, and I'm excited to give this a review. Not necessarily a review, but more of an analysis, what's going on in the music, as well as the vocals. And for those that don't know me or what I do, hey, I'm Ethan Drew. I am a singer. I've been singing for several years. I also play several instruments, and my goal here on YouTube is to cultivate your appreciation for music, and I do that through various avenues such as reaction and analysis videos like these, as well as creating my own music and doing podcasts with singers. And if you are enjoying the content, I would appreciate a like. Drop a comment down below. Even if it's just a smiley face, it helps with the algorithm. And if you're enjoying it to the point of wanting to know when I post again, make sure you subscribe. A lot of my viewers are not yet subscribed, and I would very much appreciate it if you would do so. And if you're feeling generous enough to the point to where you want to contribute to my success here on YouTube, then I would very much appreciate it if you would check out the link in the description for my Patreon, where you can support me financially if you choose to. That is not required to enjoy my content by any means. You can also support me in a free way by liking it, commenting below, and subscribing. Anyways, let's get promptly into this performance of Smoke. Oh, my camera has decided to die on me. Give me just a moment and I will fix this. Alright folks, sorry about the intermission. I have returned. Unfortunately, I do not have camera batteries that are charged. So therefore, unfortunately, you will not be able to see me for the rest of the video. You will still be able to hear me and my audio reactions though. So without further ado, we are going to jump into this performance of Smoke by Dimash Kudaibergenov. And for those that don't know him, he is a world-class singer. Incredible lung support, incredible range, and just a masterful vocalist in every way. And if you've not heard him before, you are in the presence of greatness, my friend. So, without further ado, let's get into this. I have not heard the original. And before we dive in, I do just want to say real quickly that this type of video here on my channel, reaction and analysis videos, these include frequent stopping and pausing and frequent talking. I stop a lot in these, okay? If you don't like pausing to acknowledge what's going on in the music, you may want to check out other content on my channel, or perhaps check out someone else's videos where they're reacting to Dimash or other performers, because I actually like to stop and talk about what's going on in the music and the vocals. So that way you get a better understanding of it and appreciation for it. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and get this knocked out. I'm excited to break it down for you. And yeah, let's do this. Dimash always blows us away, so let's see what he has in store for us for this performance.
Can't stop the heat in my veins. But what is my DNA can't hold me. Feels like the world is my stage, and I'm out here making waves for glory. From the rumors you heard, don't get too close, baby, you could get burned. Like cloud ready to go.
Okay, so there's some really cool things going on here in the music. Okay, so obviously Dimash being a world-class vocalist, he has incredible breath support, and therefore he's able to sing somewhat intimately like this while still maintaining a little bit of power. And what I mean by intimately is that you hear a little bit of air in the sound, right? So I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about.
Stop the heat in my veins.
That sound that he's got in there, where it almost sounds like it's a half whisper, that's the sound I'm referring to whenever I'm saying intimate. And it's incredible to hear someone that has that kind of control Because the tendency is, as a vocalist, is to sing really hushed like this, or to sing really powerfully like this, and to kind of have like a middle road, to have the enough control to be able to do a middle road style of singing where it's got a little bit of air in it, but also you got a little bit of power behind it. You gotta have some serious skill in your belt, because finding that balance can be tricky.
But what is my DNA can't hold me.
Okay, so I don't know who's doing the instruments in this cover, so forgive me for my ignorance on that. But what we've got going on right now is some 808 bass, if I recall correctly. We definitely got some electronic bass going on here. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And typically that kind of bass sound is it is achieved through more professional recording studio software DAWs. And what I mean by a DAW, for those that don't know, a DAW stands for a digital audio workstation. And that is a piece of software that professional musicians record into, and that's where the audio is processed. And that is also where instruments are recorded into and processed as well. And most of the time, you can actually achieve this kind of bass sound without an instrument and with built-in virtual instruments within the digital audio workstation. So it's hard to say. That could be an instrument and it could be mixed and mastered and processed, or it could be just a virtual instrument. But yeah, just a fun little tidbit there on what a DAW is.
Feels like the world is my stage.
Well,
And I'm out here making ways for glory.
Really, really nice bass touch there. And plus, the beginning of this is pretty stripped down. It's very simple, right? So you've got the bass in the background, and you've got Dimash carrying the lead. And it's nice to see people starting off with a bang sometimes, but it's also nice to see a very simplistic approach to a cover, right? Because then it gives you somewhere to go with the performance and arrangement.
It's like the world is my stage. And I'm out here making ways for glory. I'm from the rumors you heard.
And yeah, there we go. We're starting to pick up a little bit more power. So hear the transition right here that I was speaking about earlier with the intimate and power at the same time. Remember when I was talking about that? There's going to be a bit of a transition here where Dimash moves into a little bit more power, a little bit more support.
I'm out here making ways for glory. I'm from the rumor.
Right there. It was very, very subtle. The transition from that slightly more intimate tone to this slightly more powerful tone and more supported tone. And to be able to do that, I mean, you can do that as any singer realistically, but Dimash just puts on a perfect display of vocal control by being able to change his volume and style on a whim. And also, just a passing mention, for anyone that's watching this in a different language or listening to this in a different language, or anyone that just doesn't know this song, anyone that's not familiar with Dimash, he does not speak English at all. If he records music that's in English, just know that he does not speak the language at all. He just learns the actual song and the words of the song. I don't recall his actual original language that he speaks, so forgive me for my ignorance on that, but just know that Dimash's English is surprisingly good for this. I can understand every word he's saying, and I can understand it pretty well, so hats off to him for that.
And I'm out here making ways for glory. I'm from the rumors you heard. Don't get too close, maybe you could get burned. Like cloud, it's ready to go. Don't play with the fire, ready for the smoke.
I love that. Let's talk I got a couple of things to talk about here.
Don't get too close, maybe you could get burned. Like locked, loaded, ready to go.
His pitch accuracy is immaculate too. So for those that don't know, there's pitch correction, what we call pitch correction in digital audio workstations, where some people refer to it as autotune, but I don't like that term because autotune is more of its own separate thing compared to pitch correction, because autotune is more or less pitch correction taken way too far, like T-Pain, for instance. And while you can use pitch correction to make sure that the tone of the pitch that you're singing is very flat and even, you have to have some sort of accuracy when you're hitting that pitch in the first place to be able to really take advantage of pitch correction. And for those that know Dimash, he is very accurate with his pitches. If you've heard him sing live or seen a live performance of his, he's very accurate with his pitches.
Don't play with the fire, ready for the smoke.
Ooh, okay, so we got a little bit of a choir. We have a little bit of a choir setting section here. Let's listen to that again.
Go, don't play with the fire, ready for the smoke.
It all sounded like a unison there. It all sounded like it was in unison. This is one more time.
Don't play with the fire, ready for the smoke.
Yeah. And I'm hearing a really high note from Dimash here, so let's hear what note this is. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Okay. He starts out at an A5 in head voice here, and we all know Dimash's head voice is very well controlled. That's obviously mine is way less controlled than his, but just to show you how incredible he is at these techniques. And he also does almost like a chromatic dissension down into as he's going through the music here. Right here. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He's up to a soprano high C there. That is a C6 for those of you that don't know. That's a very high. And that's to be commended, especially to have that much control and pitch accuracy in that head voice of his. It's incredible. We also had some strings kicking in there. Sounded like a violin and possibly a cello. Ooh, a couple cool things in there. I hear some very light plucking of strings in the background. What could that be? I guess that could be a violin, right? I don't really know for sure. And then some more electronic in the background. Let's hear. What is that instrument in the background there? It's probably just some keys, electronic piano, and probably some keys. But that's a chromatically descending passage of notes there. I love that. Anyway, back to Dimash, the star of the song. Operatic style head voice. Hello, another A5 in head voice. Incredible.
I got the eyes in my eyes.
Back to intimate singing.
My love, it comes with a price. I am the bullet who'll never miss you. I love to cross all the lines. Yeah, that means that I'll double cross you. Lock, loaded, ready to go.
It's just so much control. He's so punctual with his words and his style. He is so incredibly punctual. He's so incredibly punctual. There's no really other word for it in my personal opinion, because he's very intentional with what he does. It's all of it is there in position exactly where it needs to be, exactly where he wants it to be. And it all varies a little bit, but it gives it that much more flavor and makes it more fluid. I love it.
Play with the fire, ready for this smoke.
Dum 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 dum. That was a really nice. I think there was a guitar lick in there.
Don't play with the fire, ready for this smoke.
Dum 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 dum. Do 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 do. Did y'all hear that? That's awesome. Dum 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 dum. There's the strings again. There's that guitar lick again. You got to hear it more clearly that time. You can't see it, but I'm doing the stank face right now. Wow.
Don't play with the fire, ready for the smoke.
It's just the sheer amount of control and diction and purpose he sings with. It's just next level, otherworldly. It is insane. I don't know of very many singers who have ever sang with that much power and precision and purpose. This man is just, he's a legend.
Don't play with the fire, ready for this.
Ay, 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 ay. Nice. Nice, what do we call those? Those are, I guess those would be glissandos, right? Let me know, music majors, if I got that wrong, but I believe those would be glissandos. Ay, 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 ay. Man, y'all. That is crazy. Oh my gosh. All right then. Well, that is the end of today's video. It's hard to really narrate a performance like that and comment on a performance like that. Like, I'm not qualified to comment on anything that most of these singers do, really, per se. But I love breaking this stuff down for you because I like showing you the intricacies of music and vocals. And, man, it's still hard to say, like, how do you comment on a performance that great? I don't know. I guess it's just, you know, you get to see true perfection, near perfection, in a vocalist when you listen to Dimash. Without a doubt. World-class singer, and he's only getting better with age. And this man deserves all the notoriety he gets. Man. Alright, well, I guess that wraps up this video. Make sure you drop a comment down below if you enjoyed the video, even if it's just a smiley face. And for those of you that do not speak English and you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. I very much appreciate it. And I have one more thing for those of you that speak Russian that listen to my Dimash content. Спасибо. I love you guys. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in today. This video was made possible by wonderful patrons like Miss Nancy Flesher. If you're interested in getting audio shoutouts or video shoutouts at the end of my videos, make sure you hit the link in my description to go to Patreon where you have that ability. Thank you so much for watching again. I love you. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you soon.